Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Louise and I wanted to do a little video today about something that's come up in my little private manifesting group to do with freeing ourselves from triggers. And it came up in a conversation where um, where bits of our personality sometimes can trigger one another. We were all sharing different parts of our personality that did. And I realized that I have completely gotten over the aspect. So, for example, one of my friends is very, very, very blunt. You know, we all have our own little things, right? There's millions of things that I do that annoy people. But one of my friends is incredibly blunt. And so, for example, I could say, "Oh, do you like this artwork?" And she'd just say, "Oh, no, I don't really like it." And it used to upset me because I had a big, big rejection wound, right? And as we were talking about it, I realized how it doesn't bother me anymore, actually. It doesn't, I don't care at all about bluntness. And I realized that's because I've been blogging with my friend over the past year, and he's also incredibly blunt. So my original blunt friend has moved to a different country, and I've been doing blogging with a different friend, and we've been like out doing recording blogs together. And he's also very, very, very blunt. And what I realized is that from a year of that level of bluntness, I've actually become immune to it, and it really doesn't offend me or affect me anymore. And it used to really, really hurt my feelings, especially from my other friend, because this goes back into the past when I was a lot more triggered easily and emotional. And it used to really get me that it didn't matter. And she always used to say, "But why does it bother you? Because hundreds of people say that your stuff is good. Like, why do I'm just that one person that's saying that I don't like it." And I'm just thinking, yeah, but there's a psychological thing that it doesn't matter. Like, if you walk into a room and 100 people want to date you, but the one you want to date rejects you, you're still going to feel rejected, right? It's like 100 people could say they like something, but if one person is like, "No, I don't like it," that's the one you're going to remember. That's the one that's going to cut deep until you clear yourself of it. And I realized that by subjecting myself to it for like a year solidly of bluntness, that it didn't bother me anymore. I actually realized that I completely healed myself of caring about other people's opinion. And it did come from a deep rejection wound. I couldn't handle rejection at all. And a lot of my sort of spiritual journey has been getting okay with rejection, really, and not making it mean, I guess, like a Course of Miracles, not making it mean anything, that it's meaningless. It doesn't make you less worthy. It doesn't make your stuff less worthy. It just is somebody's opinion. And another thing that made me realize this is to do with weight. Like, I realized that because I love being thin, I just have a thing, right, where I would be as thin as I possibly could be. Like, I don't really have a that's too thin level. That when people I have had a couple of times when I was doing intermittent fasting in the gym, and people have said that I'm too thin, and I've just taken it as a massive compliment. I know this is probably sounding really unhealthy, but and and I realized that if a man said, "Oh, I just don't really find you attractive because you're too thin," I'd be like, "Wow." And so that really made me realize even more that we're only offended and triggered by things that we are carrying already. So it's someone is just reminding you and showing you of something that you already have inside of you. And I remember Ramdas said something like this, and it really hit me at the time. He said, like, when you're clear, I can't remember his exact words, but when you're clear, everything will just flow through you. And it only gets stuck on things when there's something in you that, has a resonance to that. And I'm more and more understanding what he means by that. Because if you're, say, for example, bigger and you love your size, if somebody says, "Oh, I don't really fancy bigger girls," you're just actually going to be like, "Oh, well," you know. Whereas if you have a deep insecurity about that, then you're going to get really, really triggered. You're going to get really, really offended. You're going to make it mean something. You're going to make it mean that you're unworthy. And it all comes back to that you are unworthy. Like, all of these things come back to you are unworthy. You are not good enough. So if we can heal that and we can fix that, and I hate to say it, but a lot of the time it comes from being subjected to it. I'm not saying to put yourself in situations that are really, really, like, you find dangerous or anything, but actually I found to be around blunt people for the past year it's catapulted my growth from not just cutting it off or trying to get them to change, but just taking it a bit, and yeah, I'm not saying to put yourself in like a really, really unhealthy situation, obviously, but I think a lot of the time we just feel something's triggering or someone's triggering and we move ourselves away from them, when actually there's a lot of growth to allow that to not bother you and to be able to wash over you. Because honestly, it just washes over me now. The bluntness just washes over me like a like the sea. And it doesn't bother me at all. And actually it's the same with comments on YouTube. I don't really get many negative comments, but if I ever do get them, they still hurt. But now I just laugh. I just think, yes, it's a free comment. It's a free engagement to help boost my channel. And that is really how I see it. So I think there's a lot to be said for clearing ourselves, and at which point everything just flows through. So anyway, I hope everyone's good. Wanted to share that with you guys, and I will speak soon. Bye bye.